So guys, welcome back. We are just about to start the 8th race of GTS Season 2 here at OFR. We're riding with Division 1 right now, and I think we've almost got a full grid. I think we have 14 drivers or 15 drivers even here today. And it's going to be an action-packed race at Alsace Village, as I've just learned that's how you say it. You've got Dr. Robot and Havoc here. How you doing, Havoc?
Doing great as always, Robot. Always excited for race day.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you been practicing around this track? Have you done any laps here yet or not?
Just a bit, just a tad bit. It's got a lot of camber in it. It's going to be a very difficult track for the drivers to get around. Yeah. We're going to see a lot of switchbacks today.
Absolutely. So Bagpuss has started the final, so we're going to be counting down in 1 second. It's a very narrow track. There's grass almost on every single outside part of the track. If you hit it, you're going to spin and you're going to lose so much time here. Heavy damage is on in Division 1. Let's not forget that. So these guys need to make sure they are careful on the run-up into turn 1. It's a short run-up, so these cars are going to be bunched up. You can see we've got a 15 grid lineup there with just the two commentators, so this is going to be absolutely amazing. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, all of those that have joined so far. We're just waiting for the lights to start now. We'll ride on board with second place, as we usually do. We've got the lights. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, waiting for them to go out. And we are away. That was a bit of a late start there by some of these guys, but it looks like Martin Bananas has had a hell of a start. He's pulling alongside. He's already ahead as he's leading into turn 1. He's got the inside line. Is he going to be able to brake on time? Yes, he is. We've got Jan trying to go around the outside, but he's gone on the grass as well. Jan's going to lose out a hefty amount there as AJ goes up his inside. Bagpuss overtakes him as well. So does Platypus. And now Astro, is also having a go. What a horrible start from Jan there, but let's jump back up to the lead and see how Martin Bananas is getting on in his Raven West car, pulling away here. This is going to be a good race, and Platypus is already making a move on first place here with his teammate Bagpuss all the way up into third place as well, looking to make a move on his teammate. What a start from some of these guys.
AJ's still there, Robot. I mean, Tay is there. They're all there. It's a mix-up. You don't see these guys up there all the time. Raven West, where did they come from? Platypus and Bagpuss, where did these guys come from?
No idea. I mean, some of them did start quite high up. We know AJ started near the back, and he's already up in third place. He's got that move on Bagpuss. Bagpuss is now looking to get that move back as they go through turn 6 up to the left-hander at turn 7. AJ's looking to go down the inside, but he's hit the grass and it's slowed him down, and that is going to allow Bagpuss to make another move on them as they go through the hairpin at turn 8. I honestly don't know where these Raven West have come from. I think what's happened is they've got a new setup, just like Ron and Pollux did last week. I think they have nailed this setup here, and they look like they are in control of that car as they are just coming up to the third sector now.
I mean, they've got 3 cars up there, Robot. Unbelievable to see. And then we've got the Beetles up there. I mean, yeah. I can't explain what's going on. Astro in P4. What is going on up there up front? Where is everybody else at? We've got Yan in P6, Grimsey's down there, Tay's down there, Lika's down there, and Vilsek's down there. Where are the guys at?
No idea at all. Now, we know Racer Tay started in last place. He has already made up at least half of the positions on the grid. He's gone from 15th place up 8 positions into P7. Oh, we've got a car spun. It's Astro. Astro spun. I'm going to make sure we record that replay just to see exactly what happened there, because I've got a feeling he might have been spun by someone. He's just coming back onto track now. He's in 13th place. He's got Vilsek and the real Trays behind him. Let's jump to the replay now and quickly see what happened now. It looks like he's doing fine. He's coming around up to the final 2 corners. Oh, he gets tagged from behind by Jan. It's Jan. He tags him from behind and spins him. Oh no, he's not going to be happy about that. Let's just quickly watch that from Jan's perspective too, just so we can confirm that. Jumping back to the replay now, we're riding on board with Jan. He's looking to make a move on Bagpuss. Jan's broke very, very late, and he simply just bumped him off, and that's spun Astro, and he's hit him again for good measure. Astro is not going to be happy with that. However, Jan now has major damage, and he decided to stay out, and his car looks like it's pulling to the left. He stayed out.
He should have went around there, Robot. That's kind of an aggressive move, just to go back into him again for good measure and try to get through. That's not the way to do it. That's not the way to race. It's not the correct way to do it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. So we're gonna have to wait and see how he gets on. He's currently running down in 9th place, and I suppose. Oh yeah, it looks like Astro actually pitted. He's down in 13th place now, so I think he might have pitted. We'll have to wait and see. He's currently battling the Ron and Pollux car of Ash. So Mick, if you're watching, let's hope Ash can make up a few places, because he's not in his podium spot like he was last week. But, I mean, other than that incident, it's been pretty clean so far. This is a really difficult track. It's really difficult to spot braking points and things like that, because these guys do not have the racing line on. They don't have really any indication of where to brake because there's no meter boards on this track as well, so it is all down to the driver to know exactly when to brake and make sure you don't disrupt the cars ahead, and unfortunately we've seen a driver fail on that so far.
Yeah, it's going to be a lesson learned. He's definitely going to know next time to kind of give the room to the driver ahead. Just one piece of information I've picked up from the Spinorama guys over at AMG, we do have orders, cross-team orders. AJ has been a switch to Raven West, but there is a rumor going around that AJ is going to be playing block for tag hour and trying to put some space in between spin and tag hours. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that robot.
Wow, that's really interesting. And that also reminds me of something that we forgot to bring up last week, actually. AJ has moved to Raven West, and we didn't actually... We didn't really speak about that enough. Now, let's just remind you guys what happened. AJ was running in Spinorama pretty much this whole season, filling in for Vilsec. He was technically only a reserve for the first few races, and then I believe he got a permanent spot. But then Vilsec managed to find some time and he came back, and there was some behind the books dealings going on because AJ actually went over to Raven West, which is Max's team, and apparently Max has almost given all of his team over to Lika. Next season they're going to be branding as Raven West Spinorama. They're going to be rebranding, sorry, as Raven West Spinorama. There's some drama for you guys, and that does explain why AJ could have been given the order to hold up the tag. Because if all of the Spinorama guys finish 1, 2, 3 today, and no tag guy gets in above P5, Spinorama have won the Constructors Championships.
That's interesting. We'll have to see if that plays a role today, Robot. But the team mix and Lika picking up Raven West, that's huge.
Yeah,
he's now got 6 drivers to take care of and deal with during the week.
And let's not forget, next season we're going to be going with 2 classes of cars. We're going to have one division that is going to be GR3 cars, Group 3 cars, and then the other division is going to be Group 4 cars. Group 2 cars, sorry. So Group 2 and Group 3, completely separate divisions. Spinorama, of course, are going to look to get 2 full teams in both divisions. And if Raven West decide that they want to stick with Group 3, that opens up the door for the Group 2 Spinorama team. That's going to be really, really interesting to watch and to analyze.
So Tay goes by. I mean, here comes Tay Robot, and here goes Spinorama. I mean, they're starting to make their way up through the field. It looks like Leak is in top 5 now. Vilsec should be making his way up. It could happen today, I think.
It really could. Leak is in P5. That's a pretty good position for him. Where's Vilsec, though? Don't know where he is on track right now. Let me see if he's down in 14th place. I don't think he's managed to get that much practice in right now because he is struggling. He hasn't got any damage on his car or anything like that. I think this is just a pace issue. Yeah, Vilsec not in those podium spots where he needs to be, so this might go on for another week depending on where Tag finishes today. Rubs has joined and he's asked for a clue. I just want to give a shout out to Smalley, Simon, Fatboy Sim. We've got Mick from Rod and Pollux here as well, all joining us in the stream. Thanks for that. If you stick around at the very end, we're going to be showing a little advert from Rod and Pollux too, so make sure you spot that, like them, and also follow them on YouTube if you can as well, guys. It's Rod and Pollux Fishing. Now, back to the race. Racer Tay is leading now. He's managed to get up to first place and he's leading by 3/10, and I imagine he's just going to pull away. You can see that gap climbing already. So it was 4/10, it's now 5/10. It's almost coming up to 5.5. He's going to pull away. Let's not forget, guys, we are also running a reduced lap count here as well because the F1 race at Mugello went on for so long. So instead of the 23 laps, we're only running 18. So I think this is going to be a 2 or a 1-stop strategy here. 2-stop would be probably come in at lap 6 and lap 12 and go to the end, or 5 and 13 and go to the end. 1-stop, expect them to pit around lap 10. But I don't think anyone is on the medium tyre. Let me just quickly cycle through them all and see. It doesn't look like it. It does not look like it. We've still got quite a few guys with a bit of damage as well. It's actually the rear of Castle and the front of Doc Cube. These guys could have tagged each other, and a bit of a pun there, they're both in Tag Her Phoenix Race Labs as well. They're not having the greatest of day today since Iceman couldn't join us, unfortunately, due to some wheel issues. But Ash has managed to get himself up into the points. Jan has finally come into the pits. He has pitted and he's come straight back out on fresh soft tyres. So that's the first pit stop done for him. We've got Vilsec still down in P13. He has managed to make a move on Astro, but no one's on those medium tyres. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-stopper for almost everyone, I reckon.
Now, what does Tag Hour have to do here, Robot, to stay in the championship fight and kind of not let this run away from them today? and just stay close to Spinorama.
So I haven't done all of the math. All I knew was that if the Spinorama got the top 3 podium spots, then they had a lot to do. Right now, I don't think it's so much what Tag can do. I think it's what these other teams can do. If, for example, Bagpuss can split the Spinoramas and make sure one of them doesn't finish on the podium, then good. He needs to be able to do that to give Tag a chance. AJ needs to finish as high up above Vilsec as he possibly can again to reduce the amounts of points that Spinorama can get. But knowing that AJ is kind of like an undercover driver for Spin, I don't know what can happen. But right now, Spin is looking strong. Leak is in P3, Tay's in P1, AJ, the secret combatant, is in P4. They've got everything. They're doing everything they need to.
Yeah, he's got to be waiting on the tag hour, guys. I mean, you got to think, AJ's always had pace. He's been able to go from D2 to D1, no seamless problems at all. So he's a very good driver. He learns fast. He's got the pace. He knows he can do it. But yeah, that's just a little piece of information we picked up this morning in the practice sessions, that AJ was going to be blocking for Spin. Yeah. And if the tag hour car gets close, it's going to be very hard to make the pass.
Absolutely. You're definitely right there. And I think we're just going to have to wait to see that unfold. Now, I'm wondering when these guys are going to come back into the pits, because Racer is going around for another lap. So this would be the lap he needs to pit, lap 6, lap 12, and then go to the end. So we could see it. He's currently got about 40% wear on his tyres. So again, this would be a good time for him to pit. We know he is a lot heavier on his tyres than other people. We've still got guys in the chat asking for a clue. So here it is then. I am not the only one who is planning this treasure hunt, guys. Obviously, another one of the coders down in OFR is helping me. So that should give you enough, you know. What does this other coder do? Right, no more clues for today. We are back to racing, and Racer Taste pulled out 5.5 seconds. I don't know how he's doing.
I mean, by the time he's in Digna 2, Robot, the other guys are in Digna 1. And they're just, it's so far ahead, I don't know how he's doing it.
Me neither. I mean, okay, so he's probably going to pit this lap, and so is the next 5 guys behind him. Oh, someone spun! It's AJ spun! Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh, and he spun another guy behind him too. It's another one of the Corvo West guys. Oh no, I've hit the replay button. Let's see what happened to AJ. Oh no, so looks like he was going through turn 7. He's got on the grass on the outside and he spun. He's gone straight off the track. Oh no, and he's come back on track and he's hit his teammate Martin Bananas. He's hit Martin off the road.
Oh no. Tragedy for Raven West there, Robot.
And this is going to give Tag a big boost here. A big boost.
Yeah, AJ's definitely going to have to make it up now with all the damage he's done to the cars. Lika is not going to be happy with the price they're going to have to pay to fix those cars. It's not going to be a good week for them. He's going to have to make it up in the race.
And Racer Tate's come in now. Bagpuss has come in. Leak has come in. Where's Harley? Is Harley going to pit? Harley's pitted as well, so the top 5 are all pitting. Have they refueled to go to the end or something? That was a bit of a slow stop. Bagpuss has come out ahead. What's happened to Racer Tate? Racer Tate's put in a full tank of fuel. Oh.
He's going to go the full distance.
Can he take soft tires?
Was it a mistake?
Laps? I think he's filled up, so when it comes to the end of the race and he does his final stop, he's not going to have to...
He doesn't have to fuel.
Yeah, that's quite a clever move, actually, because he's basically starting his second stint the same way he started his first stint, and we know how fast he is. So I think he's done a very clever move there. Lika hasn't done that. Lika didn't refuel, and he still came out behind Racer Tate. That is the kind of like variability Racer Tate has that he can put into his pit stops. He's got that 7-second gap. He can play around with it a little bit, and refueling his car to the max and still coming out in the second place is something only Racer Tate can do. That is amazing.
Now, how much is that going to save him on the next stop? I mean, when he comes in, what do you think? Is it 7 seconds?
Yeah.
That's going to be huge.
And we know, I mean, look how close he is to Bagpuss right now. He's 4 tenths behind. He can pull away about 8 tenths a lap on Bagpuss. So by the time it comes to the second stop, he's going to be about 6 seconds ahead. And Bagpuss has got a pit as well and refuel. Let's not forget that. And all Racer Tate has to do is just change his tyres. Racer Tate's going to finish this race about 15 seconds ahead. This is going to be amazing.
Wow.
Oh, we've got some... Smalley is saying... We've been getting Racer Tate's name wrong all along. We forgot he's been rebranded as Baking Tray. Apologies. Baking Tray in P2. Bagpuss Gruff in P1. Now, Bagpuss is just coming up to the final corner now. Racer Tay is just 3/10 behind. Let's see if these guys can keep it clean as they start the uphill ascent into turn 1. Bagpuss is going aggressively on the defense, straight down the inside as they go through turn 1. Racer Tay still behind, but looking to make a move with a switchback. He's actually got him as they come out of Dick 1, and he's done it. Racer Tay is now ahead. Bagpuss is probably going to squeeze behind him and tuck in right behind, maybe take advantage of that toe. No, he is not. He's trying to go down the inside, and Bagpuss has managed to get him back. Bagpuss moved up to P1. Now Racer Tay is going to be fighting as they go through Dick 3. He's going to do it. Yes, he is. He's outbroke him, and he's got that first place back. These two are racing wheel to wheel and still managing to avoid each other's cars at all costs. This is the type of racing we want here at OFR. Guys, take a note out of these guys' books. They are doing exactly what we need to see. Well done, guys.
The Beetle looks so tiny compared to the AMG robot. It's such a small car. It just looks like it's in trouble the whole time. But Bagpuss is making it look huge. He's making that Beetle look like a giant compared to Racer Tay.
Yeah. I mean, every time we see him go around a corner, he is stuck to the track. Bagpuss has got some... He must have some aerodynamic advantage being a little short, stocky car like that. But, wow. How is Bagpuss doing it? He's got pace. He has pace around here. So nice to see.
He does. The guys have went through the season, and they're finding more and more out about the cars. They're getting more and more used to the cars, which makes the season coming to an end kind of a... I don't know, kind of a false hope. You hate to go into a new season after you just got done learning everything you did about the car previous if you don't get that car in the next season.
Yeah. Now, I haven't got word yet of which division Bagpuss is going to find himself in next season. Is it going to be Group 2? Is it going to be Group 3? I think he's more inclined to the Group 3 cars. Although he loves driving the Group 2, I think he's more comfortable with the weight and the pace of the Group 3 cars. And seeing him drive around one of the cars that isn't going to be anyone's first choice, having a podium this season and running in a podium spot this race on race 8, I think he's extremely comfortable in Group 3, and he could even be looking at a top 3 finish in the driver's standings if he sticks with it next season. I reckon he definitely could.
Yeah, one of the Brits. The Brits definitely put a lot of time in the GTS robot. It's more on this side than they do on the F1 side. So
yeah, for sure.
I love seeing him up there. I mean, Bagpuss is one of those guys. Everybody loves him. He's not ever in a conflict. He's never in an altercation. He's always one of those guys that you love.
Absolutely. He is, of course, the admin for GTS. The only one since Mary left him. I hope you're watching, Mary. But he does a lot of work. He's put a lot of time and effort into this league. It's only on its 2nd season, and we're having full races across 2 divisions. And 2 weeks ago, he opened up a brand new division for the rest of the season called the Classic Cup. He is running that himself as well. He's getting almost full grids there too on a weekday. Let's not forget, he is one of OFR's greatest members. He does a hell of a lot of work, and I'm so happy to have him. So happy.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all. So we've got Harley and Platypus up there. Where is Ash at? Ash last week did so good. Yeah, and now in 8th place, but last week at Willow Springs did so good keeping up with Taya and Vilsec. Mixing it in right there. He got a lot of help from Shane. Shane unfortunately gone, but it just got so much help, and it showed when it came to the race. We'll have to see if he can mix it in with the guys today.
Absolutely. I think that Ash is just making a move on Castle here. He's just got Castle. He's up to P7 now. Let's see if these guys can keep it clean as they go through the right-hander. There's a bit of contact between them, but only a little bit. They're not pushing each other too hard, which is nice to see. That was clean. That was on the limit, and that's nice to see. Ash has moved up. Castle did an amazing defense, but in the end, he was just on the wrong line as he went through the final corner, and Ash just had a little bit of an advantage. But let's have a look at Castle's tyres, actually, because Castle does always struggle a little bit. You can see that as well. He's got a little bit more fuel wear, a little bit more tyre wear than Ash. That's probably why Ash had a bit of an advantage as well. But Castle's still doing an incredible job. He's still doing what he needs to get those points for tag. So good for him. Very good for him. AJ now in 9th place with front bumper and front left wheel assembly damage. He is not going to be enjoying that ride right now, bearing in mind this is a right-hander circuit, and that left tire is going to be getting that front left tire as well is going to be getting most of the work. So he's going to be struggling a fair bit, and that's probably why he's down in 9th place, 1.3 seconds behind Castle right now. He's not.
It's not going to be good. He's supposed to be in front of Castle Robot. I mean, the agreement was he's got to be in front of tag hour. He's supposed to be putting the interference moves in, and it's not going to happen from P9 and with the damage.
Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right. So, let's just quickly see where Tay is. He's currently only got a 1.3 second lead on Bagpuss, but can we just point this out? Bagpuss is leading Leaker by 3.5 seconds, and he's been pulling away actually these last few laps, and he's not allowing Racer Tay to get away. Now, we know Racer Tay has about half a tank more of fuel than Bagpuss does, so Racer Tay is going to have a heavier car, and that's going to be slowing him down a little bit, but that's not taking away anything from Bagpuss, because we know previous races, Racer Tay has been about 1.5 seconds a lap quicker than Bagpuss almost every race, and that extra fuel is probably only slowing him down 3 or 4 tenths. So I reckon Bagpuss has actually got a lot of pace around here, and you can see that because of how much he's managing to stay ahead from Leaker. He's doing a fantastic job.
I agree. I completely agree. Bagpuss has put the practice in. You can tell he's put the practice in. He always does, though. I mean, it's not that he doesn't put it in. I think the guys have just figured something out this week.
Absolutely. Sorry to interrupt you there, but Grim just made a bit of a mistake, and he's just been overtaken by Doc Coop. Just as they cross the line, actually, they've just started their lap 11, and I think in this lap or the next lap we are going to start to see these final pit stops. Grim doesn't have any damage whatsoever. Doc Coop has a bit more tyre wear and a bit less fuel also, so he'll both be lighter but a bit slower in terms of his grip. So Grim could fight back here, and he could get that position back before they both come into the pits. We'll have to wait and see, but he is another Rod and Pollux driver that we... that team has. You usually see all three of them quite close together on track in the Rod and Pollux Caterpillar, but not today. They've been quite separated actually, with one of their drivers running in P11, another in P7, and another in P6. I think they're quite separated.
Yeah, I think a couple of the mistakes and a couple of the accidents that happened earlier has split them up. I mean, definitely in Dicna 2, they had to get split up from that incident from A to J, and it's one of those things where when you get split up, you hate it, but once you get spread out, it's hard to catch up once you're so far spread out.
Absolutely, it really is. And I know some of these drivers also have a little bit of damage. AJ is supporting a lot of damage right now. That's slowing him down a fair bit. But even at this track, even if you just have like a flashing front bumper, if you've got some aero damage, you're going to struggle a lot through those corners. And I think that also contributes to what you said about why these drivers are so separated right now. But Grim, sorry, is looking to make a move. Oh no, he's had to lift slightly just to make sure he can get turned in on that corner. Oh, and he's gone deep again. He's gone deep at the hairpin again. He's struggling a little bit here. So let's jump back up to Baking Tray, who is currently leading 2.4 seconds on Bagpuss, who is leading 4.0 seconds on Leaker. They are on lap 12, so this is going to be where they're going to pit. Pit window is open. Bagpuss is looking at about 33% wear. Baking Tray looking at about 40%. So again, he's pushing his tyres to the limit here, but still managing to pull away. I reckon this is going to be the last stop of the race for these guys, so let's see if they come in.
Now, does Tay go around again like he did previous? I mean, he's got the extra fuel. Does he go around and do an extra lap? I mean, we know Tay's used to the tire wear. I mean, what do you think, Rob? I mean, can we see him try the overcut?
I don't know. I mean, I just don't think there's any point in doing it, because right now if he pits, and the worst thing that can happen is he comes out behind Harley in P4 and he's got a little bit of traffic, but that traffic's only going to last one lap, and we know he's going to be a lot faster on fresher tyres anyway, so I don't think he needs to gamble. I think he should just pit now, get it over and done with, and if there is traffic he'll clear it within a lap, because they also have to pit.
I agree.
I think that's pretty much it. So, Baking Tray is just making it round the hairpin now. I'm going to bring up my handmade track map again. That's turn 10. And then I haven't really classified any of these corners in between. Apart from this one, I've actually missed out a number. So that's turn 11 there. And we've got 12 and 13. Okay, fair enough. So he's just coming up to the final chicane at 12 and 13 now. I think this is going to be it. He's going to be coming in. Let's see. He makes it through the first part of the corner. Turns in on the second. See if he positions his car to the right-hand side. He does, and he's coming in. He's in the pits. So let's watch how quick this stop is. He might have to put in like 0.5 laps of fuel or something like that if he pushed a bit too hard. And he's away. Didn't refuel whatsoever.
Oh my gosh. So, what a move. What a strategy.
Yeah, let's look at that gap now. So it was 3.2 seconds. That's what it was when they came into the pits. Bagpuss is coming out of the pits now, and he's come out 16 seconds behind. Oh no, sorry, 10 seconds behind. He's come out 10 seconds behind. Like I said, Racer Tay is going to be able to pull away 8/10 a lap, so he's going to finish at around 15 seconds ahead. That's amazing. What a move by Tay.
Unbelievable.
What a move.
What a strategy. Just the mind thought that he put into that, knowing that he could just put the extra fuel in and go around and still keep up, and then come in, not put any fuel in on the second stop, and then come out here, and now he's just going to pull away. I mean, he's got the same amount of fuel now, but that only means bad things for Bagpuss, because he's just going to pull away.
Now, you're right, and I want to bring your attention to something a bit more interesting that's going on track. Oh no, AJ's just spun Castle. He needs to give that position back.
Oh no.
AJ, come on AJ, give it back. That was mean. I don't think... Yeah, there you go. He's let him go. And Jan's followed. That's what I wanted to bring your attention to. AJ was stuck in a tag sandwich, and he's let Castle go, but he's now also accidentally let Jan go as well. Lika is not going to be happy with that. Now, AJ has got no damage now. He's got fresh tyres and half a tank of fuel. The two tag drivers ahead of him, Castle and Jan, also have the same... what's the word I'm looking for? The same... I'm losing my words. Their car is in the same position as AJ's. Let's just go with that. So, AJ's already managed to catch up to the back of Castle. I think Castle's just let Jan go. Oh my god, they're almost going 3 wide as they go through turn 9 here. AJ's gone down the inside of Jan. He's already got that position back on Jan now. Oh no, AJ's been spun, I think. AJ's gone off track. Let's see if Jan gives that back. I'll watch the replay just to see what happened there. Oh, no. This is not good. This is not good. Jan's now gone ahead of Castle. Right, I'm going to quickly jump on board with AJ and just see what happened there, because I don't think he's going to be happy with that. Let's jump to Jan, actually. So, Jan is leading as they come up to turn 10 at the hairpin. Jan brakes for the hairpin. Oh, it was Castle, I beg your pardon. It was Castle and AJ. Okay, let's just quickly jump back to the replay and watch it again. Sorry, guys, I got the wrong driver there. Now, Castle is on the outside. AJ's on the in... Oh, no, AJ cut the corner and came across the track. That was AJ's fault, actually.
Yeah, it was already tight. It was already tight. It was not going to happen, and it was just one of those moves. It shouldn't have been done. They should have stayed in line.
But I do want to keep an eye on this battle, though, because AJ is still only 1 second behind, and none of these drivers currently have any damage whatsoever. So... it's still looking like AJ could fight back to get back up to P7. He's only got 4 laps left to do it, though, and he's going to want to make a move on Castle as quick as he possibly can. But AJ's going to struggle to do this now, and to get that position back on Jan, too.
What about the damage, Robot? I mean, did AJ or Castle pick up any damage from that incident?
No, none whatsoever. None of them have any damage. So AJ, in the very first incident, AJ did the right thing by giving that position back after he slightly tapped Castle. That allowed Jan to overtake them. The second incident, 2 drivers hit each other, but no one got any damage. So they're all still running pretty much the same car right now. Same damage, same everything. Same tyre wear, same everything.
Yeah, Mal, I mean, they have to know that when the cars get close together like that, it's like a magnet. I mean, as soon as these cars get together, it's almost like they get sucked into each other, and no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to go side by side touching like that. Something's going to happen. Somebody's going to get pushed off.
Absolutely. You're right. So, another thing I want to bring your attention to is the Rod and Pollux drivers running in P4 and 5. Now, let's be honest. After Ash's podium last week, did we really expect him to finish below P5? I don't think so. He's managed to work his way back up into P5. He's done a fantastic job. And he's currently only got his teammate ahead of him, 2.8 seconds down the road. So, he's in a nice position right now.
Yeah, not bad at all. I mean, we love seeing him up there. Like we were saying last week, it's amazing to see Ash improve as he has this season, and he's come up and he's going to be in that spot. Now, the other driver, Lika, that I want to talk about, Lika has actually stayed out of the bad luck zone, and he's found himself in P3. What a drive from Lika today.
Absolutely. Great drive. Let's just jump to him now and see how he's getting on. He's hardly got any tyre wear, and he's still got 3 laps to go in this race. So he's had a quiet race, but he's been steady and consistent. He is catching up to the back of Bagpuss now, and that is something we see Lika do quite often. Even in the Classic Cup, even in F1, he will stalk his prey up until the last minute, and when he's ready to pounce, and when the guy ahead has got a bit more tyre wear, he'll make a move. And I think that's what we're about to see. He's 1.7 seconds behind Bagpuss. We'll keep an eye on this gap, but I think he's going to be able to get up to P2 here. And we're going to see a great battle. And he's just set a personal best middle sector too. So he's pushing.
And they're going to gain tons of points off this. Spin is going to gain tons of points if they can pull out a P1, P2, and then Tagger down in 7 and 8. I mean, if AJ can't get in the middle of that, it's still going to be tons of points. I mean, no matter how you look at it, Spin's up there. They've been doing it all season, and they've been staying consistent all season.
Yeah, Vilsek, who just joined this race at the last minute, down in 13th place right now, so he's not going to be too happy with his position right now, but he has had a busy week. He's back at school, he's doing lots of studying and stuff like that, so he doesn't really have the time to practice, but of course he's still putting in some nice laps. He's not making too many mistakes, and he still looks like he's in control of that car too. You can see that from his steering, from his acceleration and braking. I think roundabout now he's learned all of the braking points, he's learned the sweet spots of the track, and he's now getting into that comfort zone on this track. It's a little too late, unfortunately, but it's still nice to see his commitment and effort that he makes to race here.
Yeah, it just goes to show the practice that you have to put in on these races. You can't just jump into it. There are very, very, very few drivers that can just jump into a track and go around and have pace as they do. I mean, there's so many turns like Dicna 1 and 2. You cannot go into this with no practice. You have to have practice to know how to go around these turns and have pace while doing it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just checking the chat to see if anything's going on. We've got a lot of support for Harley here. He's doing a nice job, P4 for Harley. He's got a little bit more tyre wear than some of the guys behind him, but he's only got 2 laps left. He'll definitely be able to go to the end. So yeah, you guys are right. Harley, fantastic job. Well done, Harley. Races a Tay, baking tray, 16 seconds ahead of Bagpuss, so he's even gone further ahead than we thought he would. He's extended that gap by about a second a lap. I don't know how he's doing this. More than a second a lap. This is 4 laps after his stop, and he's pulled away 6 seconds. That's a second and a half a lap.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. No,
it's unbelievable. He's just, yeah. He's got so much knowledge. He's got so much training. He's got so much experience in Gran Turismo, and it shows every week. I mean, he comes out, and his knowledge and experience of driving these cars comes around. I mean, it comes out every week. You just don't know what you're going to see from him, but you know you're going to see him up front.
Yeah, it would have been really, really nice to see Racete, Shane and Bruma battling each other, and throw Atomic in there too, because let's not forget, Bruma, Shane and Atomic were a team come the start of this season, and after race 2 they decided to just let it go. I'm not sure if it was the Ford Mustang that they chose, they weren't getting to grips with the car, whether or not it was the fact that the racing line was off, I don't know, but they left, and I think Racete would have given them all a run for their money. I don't know who's faster out of Racete and Shane. We need to arrange some type of tournament where these two can go wheel to wheel and we can see. But Racete would definitely pressure him for sure.
I completely agree.
That is a battle that OFR needs to see happen. Maybe we can organise it in the off-season or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, now, look at the fastest lap he's put in. It looks like a 149.
I can't believe it.
I mean,
earlier
that's
today,
moving.
I was doing practice and I was setting 154s. I know I'm usually about 2 or 3 seconds off, but still. Let's look at... Leaker's made a move on Bagpuss. We missed it. Uh-oh. But that's Leaker in P2.
Oh, no.
They both got no damage. It looks like it was probably clean, just based on that little bit of data alone. But yeah, Leaker's up to P2.
And that's Lika. I mean, just as you were saying earlier, he's a predator, and he will sit there and stalk you until you make a mistake, and he'll watch and watch and watch, and he'll just stay there. I mean, it's not a pressure act. He's not forcing you to do anything. He's just waiting on you to make a mistake. He knows you're looking in your rearview mirror. He knows that you're looking back to see where he's at, and he's just waiting on you, and he's going to pounce. Just like you said earlier, he's going to pounce on any mistake.
Absolutely. So, we're coming up to the final lap shortly. We're on lap 17 of 18 right now. AJ has actually managed to close that gap to Castle to less than 0.7 of a second now. So this is going to be AJ's last opportunity. He needs to make sure he can stay this close behind all the way through the final chicane. If he can nail that final chicane and stay with him as they go through turn 1, he's got a chance to overtake when they're going downhill into turn 2 and 3. That's going to be his only opportunity, I reckon, to make a move. And he has managed to bring that gap down as they go across the line. He's just 3 tenths behind right now. This could be it for AJ. He's looking down the inside. He is trying to make a move down the inside. He's not got into him this time, and he is side by side with him as they start the climb up the hill, and down they go, almost like a roller coaster into turn 2. Back uphill. They are coming up now, and then they're going to go downhill again as they go through turn 3, which is a bit of adverse camber. It doesn't help them too much when they're trying to turn into it on the entry, but come the exit, it's back to some nice inward camber, and AJ's got him. He's got him. He's gone around the outside. Castle's managed to switch back slightly though. There's a bit of contact between them again though, and AJ's now looking to make a move down the inside. I think that was clean racing. That looked fair. They're just going wheel to wheel and pushing each other to the max. They've gone round turn 5 and 6 now, but it's still Castle ahead. They're side by side as they're coming up to this tight right-hander, which they're both going to have to do some heavy braking for. AJ's managed to get that position back, and AJ is ahead right now. AJ is leading. He's not going to have the inside line, but he's got ahead. He has got a full car length ahead of Castle right now, so we're going to have to jump to P1 though, as we're seeing them come around the final chicane. Baking Tray, again, another phenomenal performance. He's managed to pull away 20 seconds from second place of Leekler. How he does it, I do not know, but Baking Tray has won once again. It's going to be Leeka who's coming to cross the line next, but I will jump down to that battle between AJ and Castle just to see how it's getting on. It's still AJ leading as they're coming up to the hairpin at turn 10 here. We'll jump back to Leeka quickly as he comes through the final chicane. He's about to cross the line as well. Another really consistent race for Leeka. No damage whatsoever. Flashing fuel. He's managed everything perfectly. P2. And once again, our admin Bagpuss has finished on the podium for Buck and Calls. Well done, Bagpuss. So nice to see. Now, Harley and Ash are battling all across the line, but it's going to be Harley P4 and Ash P5. Another solid finish for Rod and Pollux there, and Jan is going to be finishing in P6, which is a nice recovery drive from him as well after that mistake in the first lap, but he's going to be crossing the line now in P6. Well done. AJ's managed to keep it ahead of Castle. Congrats, AJ. Castle in P8. Grim, the final driver for Rod and Pollux, he's just coming through the chicane now. He's going to pick up 2 points for his team at Rod and Pollux. Well done, Grim. And in last place in the points is going to be Doc Hoop, who's reserving for Iceman Kimmy since Iceman's wheel broke at the last minute. So the rest of the drivers are going to be finishing outside of the points. I'm sure Astro's not going to be too happy since he was spun. Platypus is finishing in P12. Well done, Platypus. Good job again. Vilsec is coming in line. He's had a very difficult race here, but he's managed to stick with it. He's been consistent. He's got some rear bumper damage actually, so he must have had someone go into the back of him as he crosses the line in P13. Moving now to P14, it's going to be Martin Bananas, and surprise, surprise, he has front bumper damage, so there could have been some contact there. And in last place is going to be the reserve driver of the real Trace. He's a bit far behind. He's just coming downhill now into the final 2 corners at 12 and 13. He's had a bit of a tricky race, the Buck and Calls as well, but he is going to be racing in D2, where I'm sure he's going to be finishing somewhere near the top there. We know he's fast, we know he's clean. He just needs to stick with it and he'll get another high finish. So, well done. And that's the race over.
What a move from AJ on the last lap. I mean, on the last lap, Robot made the move on Castle. They went side by side. Neither driver can complain of dirty driving or anything other than just hard, clean, great driving from both of them. Castle just coming out second best on that move, and then Martin Bananas. Martin was actually running up in the top spot there at the beginning of the race, Robot.
Yep, he really was, and I think he just got outpaced. I don't think he made a mistake or anything like that. I think he was just outpaced. But fantastic race, and we're off to the D2 race now as well. That's going to be starting roundabout now actually, so we need to jump over to that. But thanks very much guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy the D2 race as well. So see you later.